So the CDC Secretary General is expected to address the media very shortly. Journal folks, this is LB Online Television, coming to you live from the office of the Secretary General of the Congress for Democratic Change, Jefferson Koijee.
All of you members of the food estate, let me extend greetings to the peace and loving people of Liberia, particularly to the thousands of supporters, our sympathizers and well-wishers, our foot soldiers and gladiators, men and women who believe in the philosophy and ideology of our party, the Interminable Mighty Congress for Democratic Change. This time, we like to invite you, members of the press, the folk estate, to a very crucial press conference where the man who presides over the national secretary of our party will speak to the country, will speak to the broader masses of our people on what has just transpired around the perimeters, around the vicinity of the headquarters of the Interminable Mighty Congress for Democratic Change. And other political national issues as well will also be spoken about as we proceed within the press, in the domain of the press conference. So, ladies and gentlemen, the members of the folk estate, Comrade SG.
Well, gentlemen, we want to say thank you. Today, we want to just be quite clear about the growing situation in our country. Our engagement with you is just to re-emphasize the decision of our party chairperson. I wasn't here. We were out on the field, engaging and having serious meeting until we were called. The party chairperson was here, and I got a phone call that our political headquarters was in the siege by Mr. Bouaka and his police forces. We thought it was extremely wrong. We were firstly going to be grateful to God for his unspecified grace upon our life. And we're also going to be grateful to a religious person, Freedom of Topic. We want to be also grateful for his leadership intervention. When I came, I quickly asked for the police, but then we have witnessed the invasion of the police on the premises of the National Coalition for Democratic Change. I can remember in 2011, November 7th, on Bloody Monday, it gave us a sharp reminder, thinking that every citizen in Liberia know when the police were in similar form, a similar attire, a similar position, it led to the death of scores of Liberia. And interestingly for us, Gregory Como was in the police by then. The current 102 was the identical murderer. He's now in the same position. He was not 102 by then, but he was also in the police. On the same ground, life were taken by police bullet. And I went straightly to the police commander and spoke with him. And we have gotten intelligence that because they are aware that our political leader comes to work on a daily basis, he was even on his way here. Who knows what Bouaka has passed instruction to harm Ambassador Weir. We are recognized political party, recognized by law. If this party is about to take any action, that action will be publicly communicated. The CDC does not operate surreptitiously. The CDC is a responsible institution. Let the police disengage in what is noted to be a bluff. The attitude of the police was a careless, recklessly careless to come here. I did exactly what they did. It was utter provocation. If religious work would have intervened, somebody come in. The political leader was on his way to this office. Who knows? And Mr. Boaka has said the police have option. Mr. Boaka may pass an instruction. What the police may not be aware of. Mr. Boaka enjoyed the right to make a decision, but he lacked the right to choose the consequences of that decision. He may have the free will to make a decision, but he needs to be aware that he lacked inherently the fortitude and the tenacity to choose the consequences associated with that decision. We want to seize this ground and call on the stakeholders of our country. Sedition, remain calm. Religious leader Philemon Tappe spoke to me directly on the phone. Our own ground at the party headquarters. We are instructed some of our partisans that were out there who were very prepared in self-defense of themselves. And scores of our partisans who called in trying to come from counties around. We want to say to you, the political leaders have called me and said every other thing should be calm, and you should not allow Mr. Boaka to use you as an escape route. The CDC will continuously demonstrate to the world that she remains the custodian of the peace and democracy of our country, not just by expression, by practical, empirical facts and evidence. We have demonstrated that. Today again, this can be termed as an imminent threat on the life of our political leader. He comes to work every morning. You bring police people here and say people won't demonstrate. CDC, that party who can won't take action and they go do it. We take ownership of our decision. No. I know, Boaka, you are haunted by your inability and your gross misappropriation of the workings of the Liberian people. Do not, and you will not even allow the CDC to make a premature decision. No. No. I want to say to Greg, we do not want to blame you. Greg, you need to disengage. You were fully communicated with. Very soon you're going to become a collateral damage into this. You can't stop provoking the people. You preside over men, and their biggest achievement is taking away the life of innocent people. Few days and weeks ago, a police that's been trained by taxpayer money was shot dead. 15-year-old kid. 2 nights ago, a 19-year-old kid was shot dead. And you tell her that you have disrobed, Craig, you should be asking yourself to dismiss yourself. It shows that a lack of leadership, you show no leadership. You cannot be an inspector general when death is becoming a norm of our society. That's not what the Liberian people signed up for. Stop what you're doing. How are you acting like you don't know CDC? You don't know us? Stop what you're doing. We want to say to you today, you should be very grateful to Pioneer Pastor Philemon Tappet. We will not assure you the latitude and the opportunity you have here again. This party headquarters moving forward, no police person will be armed in a form and manner will come the way you came here again. That's going to be a strong word given to you. We will not permit you, neither will we tolerate you again. Because we reserve the right to protect our lives. And Mr. Parker needs to know the life of Mr. Weir is placed on the head of this president. He's making frantic effort. These are the subsequent attacks on the life of Mr. Weir. When he returned in the country, you took the army and you deployed them at the international airport. Today, Mr. Weir is on his way to his office at his party headquarters. You deployed barrage of armed carrying men. We believe some of the trained police officers refused to wear. Those people we saw, they don't even look like a Liberian. We understand Malaysians were imported there, put in police uniform, pretending to be police officers. And the intel in the police tell us that the trained police officers have refused to be part of this operation. So you bring in your Malaysians and put them and unify them and pretend to look that they are police officers. We confronted them and we look in their faces. They don't look like Liberians. These are Malaysians brought into the country. The fact that you have a person who was appointed claiming to have ties with the Russians, Today, Mr. Parker, yet to say a word. This green letter carrier of Mr. Parker is comfortably seated and arrogantly displaying that the relationship with Russia is something that Mr. Parker is very proud of. It's not in our place to determine what relationship Mr. Parker wants to cultivate within a country, but we are very concerned about the sovereignty of our country as stakeholders in this country. I owe it to the fact that we invested in the peace and democracy of our country. Start creating panic for our people. Look at today, people calling all over the place. You made your decision. Some of those decisions turn it into a way to go after you. Stop creating a panic mood. The CDC at no point in time had declared any actions. Why it's true that the CDC is aware of the careless, reckless approach in governance. The CDC is aware of that. Stop. So we came here to inform the public, our partisans, Liberians. You need to be aware. And sometimes you say what the CDC is doing. For us, we allow you Liberians to have the appreciation of what you have allowed upon yourself. Wake up in the morning, what police officer is irritated, and the result of that irritation is a loss of life. CTN today, where people were telling you that people were engaged into state looting. Every other thing that were contained, that they condemn today are being nationalized and traditionalized by their attitudes and governance. See what is happening. $8 million cannot be located. $22 million is in limbo. We want the Liberians people to be aware of that. The CDC is using and getting everything possible calling on the three branches of government. Mr. Barker act this morning is an open attack on the peace and democracy of our country. Ambassador Weah remained the symbol of peace of our country, even on our continent. I think Mr. Barker is actively getting involved in undermining himself. I think they reached a point that they cannot deliver anymore. So I think they want to use violence as a justification of his ineptitude, that he cannot provide leadership again. Because every other thing that was stated by him is being undermined by himself. So, partisans, Liberians, want to say thank God to Reverend Philemon Tappet, Ambassador Weah, who have intervened to save this potential imminent calamity that will be engendered and executed by Gregory Coleman. The police now are becoming agent of death. When you go in the community, stop. And let me say to you, police officers, stop allowing others to endanger you, police. We know each and every one of you fully well. Stop the community. Stop getting or trying to execute unlawful orders. And that's why we believe those who came here cannot be Liberians. Those are foreigners, mercenaries who were attired into police uniforms. A few of the one who have been drugged to the show and doing the wrong thing, they came here. Stop Gregory Coleman. You know us fully well. We take full ownership of what we engage into. So very soon, the chairperson have communicated that Mr. Barker has crossed a dangerous red line, and that's a signal. So partisans, honor my voice, believers of our institution, we want to say to you, remain kind, do not panic. Let us focus on the August 24th as we move forward to organizing the August 24th. So please, everything is under control. Tomorrow will be the mass meeting. Your leaders are in full control. Mr. Barker is hastening. He is indeed hastening. He is in aptitude before the war. And so the Liberian people will very soon respond to him in a very sharp way. CDC remain here as the bridge between Mr. Barker regime and the Liberian people. This is the only safe haven. Gregory needs to be fully aware. It's an attack on the judiciary, attack on the legislature, and attack on the Liberian people themselves. So when they say the police is in competition with malaria, it seems to be Liberians are enraged with the police. The malaria put Liberians enraged. So statistically, when you check the harm and the threat and danger Liberians are facing with the police can be statistically compared to the threat malaria is currently causing on its people. We want to say this very clear, that the police were there wrong. They should never venture in the premises of the democratic coalition of democratic change. We, moving forward, we have ensured that the requisite measures will be deployed without hesitation to ensure that the safety of our people will be rested in our hands, and we have no option to rush to the defense in preserving the safety and dignity of the people of this country. Thank you so kindly.
So thank you. You listen to the voice of the Secretary General of our party, And it is now your turn to ask questions. This time around will be very rigid. We ask you to ask questions as per the conversation, as per the content and domain of the press conference. So please call your name and the institution you represent. Please, you are entitled to a question. Thank you. So let's begin with
My name is Sylvester Wowi, and I report for Spoon TV. The Secretary General, you just passed a message to your partisan and Liberia allies, but you sounded more angry. Was it a threat to the police? If they do come here, what would be your action?
But from there, baby, I don't know how you train. I just started being more firm. And when actions precipitate threat and threat on life, I don't know how you sound about that. Do you know what will happen today when Ambassador Weah will have come to work? Do you know the calls we're receiving? Do you know the pandemonium that he has created today? Do you know people from home and abroad calling us? What Mr. Boaka is, I don't understand about these people. I thought they should be in the basis of trying to preserve, but these are a group of people who are frantically engaged in undermining themselves, engaging into auto provocation. Your fundamental responsibility is to keep the peace of this country. How dare you come in the primacy of the leading opposition political party? And Ambassador Weah is a global citizen. He comes to work here every day. And Mr. Boaga what is he thinking? Who anybody around him thinking there must be something more stronger than water to think that you can harm Mr. Weah? You gotta be taking something extremely, because you know what water is. Something gotta be stronger than that. So I want to say to you, Sylvester, no, you can't make me angry. I'm the presiding officer. How do you police will make me angry? No, you can't. And we have what it takes to do exactly what we want to do. So anger is not in our fabric, neither in our chromosome. We speak decisively and firmly because on the basis of the issues that is related to our, to our safety.
Yeah. So my name is Achibon, and I report for Liberia television. Today, it was alleged that some dismissed EPA officers were in stage of protest, and all of a sudden, we see some sedition in those EPA officers. There's some other sedition who were in the street demonstrating as well.
No, that's false. No, that's false and misleading. There has been no. I'm saying there is. The CDC don't take action surreptitiously. Like what the ruling party did, they lied to the Liberians. They need to face in their lie. The CDC don't lie. And that's why decisions are not very difficult for us to take. 12 years when the elections were stolen here, we mustered the courage. We stood and took a decision, a patriotic and nationalist country. And we took a decision, even in the face of some of our partisans who were not angry, who were extremely angry. But we said, this decision will go down in history. We separate CDC, not just only in Liberia, around the world, and its leaders.